Now, go to live now.
Uh,
Hey, everybody. Welcome, Sci-Fi Sunday, and yeah, we'll be talking cannibal films. I am joined today by my good pal Trenchy from the Zola's Trench Coat, and my
Yay.
other good Jenna Christian, aka Sparky from Gens of Hughes in the Grave. Welcome, guys. Cannibal movies. It was a thing, and it was a big thing in the 70s, as many things were. Thoughts on the genre overall, just as like an introduction.
I love the cannibal genre. This is like one of my favorite genres ever. I just there's something very primitive, and I also like that we do primitive stuff, but like things like Cannibal Holocaust, they try to, and I imagine they do it. It's more for the. It's not exactly. It's more arty to be arty, but I love how at the end, how they ponder the deep philosophical question of I wonder who the real cannibals are. There's a lot of social commentary. And the 70s were a good time. I don't mean to cut you off, but the 70s were a good time because there was so much unrest. You had Vietnam going on, you had civil rights, you had all kinds of things. You had sexual equality too between the sexes, plus you had homosexual stuff. A lot of stuff was coming up in the 70s. So it was a good time for our primal instincts and man's inhumanity to man. So it kind of ties all in.
Yeah, definitely. And it was also at least with Cannibal Holocaust is probably the best example. It was a fun way to like parody the Mondo films that were coming out around the time of the 60s and 70s as well. With that, and really questioning, oh, hey, what's these documentaries? Are they really all that true, or is it just a bunch of assholes faking footage?
Yeah. And I guess we'll talk about that when we get to Cannibal Holocaust.
Yeah. That's the big one, and we might dive into that right quick. But before we do, I just want to say that's okay, DMC. If you want to jump in after you're done having lunch, feel free. If not, I totally understand. It's kind of a hard genre to talk about while you're eating.
Yeah,
given what happens.
Genre to talk about while you're eating.
Yeah, it might make you work up an appetite.
But there's certain trends to this genre. Like there's always, almost always, not always, but almost always animal cruelty in these movies. And I don't know, guys, why do you suppose that is?
I guess like Christian said, it gives an authentic fit. Like I don't justify it at all. Don't think of that. But I think it does kind of make it. It gives a credibility to the realness. Like maybe that's why they did it, or maybe they just thought it would. I hate to say this, but maybe some of them just thought, hey, this will look cool on camera.
I would say
I'd love to think it was at least for some artistic merit, and maybe some of them were. But I think some of them it might have just. But I also think maybe they also thought it would give a credibility to realism on some cases.
Yeah, probably.
So
I suppose so. I mean, it does up the gore factor. It's part of a way to kind of show the brutality inherent in man before he's even brutal to each other. Brutal to the animals, and then sometimes it's animal on animal violence. Like sometimes it's just like you got a snake eating a rabbit. Like why? Oh, okay.
Like you said, it was introduced in a lot of those Mondo films.
Yeah, a lot of Mondo movies did that.
Yeah, so. They were kind of maybe taking a page from those kind of movies, I would imagine.
Mm-hmm. I've noticed there's another trend in these movies, and I don't like. Sometimes it's bad, sometimes it's okay. It depends on the scenario in the film, but there's always seems to be a trend of sexploitation in these movies.
A lot of that.
Yeah. I'm always okay with it, but I don't think that's going to surprise anybody here.
Yeah.
you got you got a lot of movies where they do that. Like you've got where's a good one? I forget what it's called. I have it written down. It's something or other. Oh yeah, it's Papaya, love goddess of the cannibals. Have you seen that one?
Uh-huh.
No.
Yeah.
Like there's some sexploitation and by exploitation because she seduces a woman too in the movie.
Yes, she does. And that for the time period, that was pretty racy there. I think it was just to titillate the male gaze. Do you think that's?
Definitely.
And also to show, like, you know, men. I mean, we're doing very primitive stuff, and you know, man, woman stuff. Men have to feel ooh kind of things. You know, and I think it's definite. Although they're not to say all men enjoy it, because I enjoy this exploitation and it's fun.
Yeah, and it also is definitely an element of like, oh, that's just what exploitation films did in the 70s. You know, if you wanted to sell your movie, you had to have some form of sexual assault scene or something in there. That was a good way to sell it. So.
Yeah. And do you think it was ever about the story plot, or do you think it was more just about selling?
With a lot of the cannibal movies, mainly it was just inserted in there to just sell it to a retailer or a distributor.
Well, they got like a leggy, buxom babe in there, and they're gonna get her half naked or completely naked. A lot of instances. Hey, that's okay though, because that gave us movies like Slave of the Cannibal God, aka Mountain of the Cannibal God, which we got Ursula Andress of all actresses, and they got her friggin' tied up in the cave, stripped naked, rubbed down with the corpse goo. Why was it all?
I like the corpse goo.
Of course, you like the corpse goo.
I'm all about that.
I mean, it was a hot scene. Don't get me wrong, but why the corpse goo? What? Okay,
it was part of the ceremony. It was a crucial part of the story. It was part of the ceremony.
It's a weird thing to insert.
No, DMC, I have not seen Welcome to the Jungle, but I think you gave me a new movie to watch pretty soon.
Sounds cool.
Have you seen it?
Sounds cool.
Have you seen it, Ethel?
No, 2007. I definitely haven't seen it.
Have you seen it, Trenton?
No.
Yeah.
Their theme song has to be that song. Welcome to the Jungle.
Yeah, it has to be.
They need to make it. If that one's not it, they need to make one.
Mm-hmm.
A cannibal movie. Why do you think they went out of fashion? Why do you think cannibal movies kind of went out of fashion?
And then had a resurgence.
I'm not sure. I think it's like maybe it has something to do with I don't want to say feminism, but there is that whole sexploitation thing going on, and we seem to be on a trend now where like, it's questionable if you're going to have someone wear something low cut, you know, strip them naked and with corpse goo.
With corpse goo.
Yeah. I think definitely there's an element of that, and just the fact that I think, like any movie fad,
it played itself out.
Yeah, at any movie fad, we saw it recently with the found footage genre. Like there was nothing but found footage movies for quite a few years, and now there's maybe one that comes out every year, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just overexposure and just too much coming out in a small period of time, and people get tired of it.
Mr. Dan, I want to go to your holiday celebrations. They use corpse goo.
Hell yeah.
Yay!
Yeah, corpse goo pudding. Yeah.
Corpse goo pudding. But I don't know that scene. I don't know why I'm always reminded of that scene when I think of cannibal movies. I like the design of the corpse. I like the Geiger count. Like, I hope this doesn't ruin the movie, but I like the Geiger counter is embedded in the corpse, and they think it's his.
Too. And I just like corpse goo. I think it's sexy. More women need to wear corpse goo. I'm going to say it.
It's illegal, but okay.
Well, you know, it's sexy. It's very earthy. It's very, you know, natural. El natural. You can tell your gentleman friends, I'm all natural.
It's good for the skin. You know, it's maybe that's the next wrinkle cream is corpse goo.
Exactly.
And that oil of Olay will be putting that out.
There we go.
Oh, only dead things touch my skin. Yeah. The dead brings out the life.
I suppose.
Oh yeah.
It's a good time.
Fucking Emmanuel and the Last Cannibals.
Yay!
That's definitely a movie.
Campbell says I shouldn't arrive at the airport to meet Marty like that. I'm going to mention that to him.
Yeah, Customs would probably have some questions there.
Emmanuel and the Last Cannibal, that's a great movie too, Moon. That is an awesome movie.
Yeah, now admittedly, I have not seen Emmanuel and the Last Cannibal. I have it on my list, but that doesn't necessarily mean I've seen it. But what all happens in that?
They mix cat sort of they don't really, but it's a cool title. It's basically just a soft core porn. Well, not really a porn, but like a soft core porn as you can get without technically being porn. You know what I mean? And it's sexy time, and it's loosely on the cannibal. It has a cannibal element too, but it's mostly just to see a lot of boobies and other things. It's pretty sexy. You've seen it, right, Sparky? Yeah, I've seen it. So yeah, it's an awesome. It's not a particularly. That's a movie me and Marty need to do for Trash Fire.
Oh God! Well, now I have to see it. If it's that bad, I got to see it.
I don't think it's bad. I think Marty might disagree with me, but I don't think it's bad. It would be one that Marty would think would be a bad one. I personally find some artistic merit in it. Of
course you do.
Well, plus boobies. If anything, it's got boobies, and every movie needs a pair.
Yes.
How do you feel about Emmanuel and the Last Cannibals? Because you've seen it.
It's a softcore porn with cannibal elements. That's what you want. It delivers, I suppose.
Well, see, I've always when I'm watching porn, I always say to everybody, I say to my son, Christian, damn it, there's not enough cannibalism movies in this porn.
Well, the good thing about cannibal porn is somebody definitely always gets eaten.
I know. High five me.
God damn it, Ethel.
It took you a minute, didn't it?
God damn it, Ethel.
Yay!
God damn it, Ethel.
Best kind of movies.
But I guess leading into that, we've got people getting eaten. Of course, in all these movies, not in the adult kind of way, but in the it's lunchtime kind of way. Cannibal Holocaust, the most famous of them all.
Yeah.
And I love the movie.
It's great. The director actually got arrested in Italy when this came out.
Yeah.
Basically, they did what eventually Blair Witch would do later, and he literally had to bring in his actors to the court to prove that they weren't dead. Which, I mean, think about it on a marketing, even though that wasn't done for marketing, what better marketing can you have for your movie than that this movie was so intense that it fooled people thinking that, this guy really did feed his actors to each other. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it couldn't be done in this day and age with the internet and stuff, but
yeah, Paranormal Activity is probably the last time that ever marketing trick is going to be pulled.
Yeah, but it was a great one.
They actually thought that someone got impaled. They thought that the woman who was impaled on the stake and had it coming out of her mouth was impaled. They had to bring her in too, and she's like, no, like literally, it's a pole, and then there's a little platform I sit on, and they put a stake in my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it's done. It's such a cheap effect, and it looks great.
It looks really good. It does.
It does.
Yeah.
Cannibal Holocaust is a movie for me, man. Yeah, there are elements that I really like and respect about the movie. Like, again, I think it's a really clever parody and lambast of the Mondo films of the '60s, but also, the animal cruelty and all that kind of takes it down a bit for me.
I get that. I get that because there was, like you brought up earlier, Ethel, there was a lot of a turtle got killed. There was a monkey. Boar. Yeah, there was a lot of unnecessarily animal cruelty into that. Although there are those sick people out there who say that it enhances the film. I have heard that argument. Not many people, but I have heard it. I wouldn't agree with it.
It's not the most fun part of the movie for me, but I mean, you muscle through it, but you don't. You hate to see it. Like, you could fake these effects. You don't have to kill the animals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, you could get a turtle shell that's already from a dead turtle, an empty turtle shell. They sell them. They freaking sell them there. You could get one of those you could put some meat inside it, and you could bust that open. You know, you don't have to kill an actual turtle to get the gore effect.
Exactly.
At least with the other animals, it was quick, but with the turtle, it's like forever. They're like ripping that shit apart.
Yeah, it's like a 3-minute scene.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess in contrast, though, we have reality shows now where you've got these I don't know if you've seen any of these survivalist reality shows, but they do the thing. I mean, they do eat the animal after, so maybe that makes it okay. But like,
no, they were eating the animals too, though.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
I don't know what the difference.
It didn't need to be filmed. It didn't need to be filmed. I guess the survival shows get away with it because they're trying to show an accurate survival situation. Well, this was just for entertainment.
Because I was watching one last night, and the guy kills a boar and it's like gutting it and stuff, and I'm like, well, did they really need to kill the? I mean, they are only out there for 2 days. Do they really need to kill the boar?
Yeah.
For 48 hours, you'll be fine. Some people do that intentionally.
I guess on the one hand, the only thing I could add to it and I'm not pro for this at all, but I guess you could, playing devil's advocate, the only thing you can say is the movie is about, you know, a film crew, like, you know, descending more and more into inhumanity. And you could say that the crew kind of did the same thing on the movie, you know. That it's a weak argument, but there is that argument.
Yeah.
No, I get that. And I think, like, I'm not saying they could have done it with fake animals, but I get why the animal scenes are there, because it adds to how much you hate these people. Because when the turtle's getting killed, the guy's up close with the camera filming it. Like, I don't think you get the same experience without the animal kills. I mean, if they were fake, it would have been the same experience, but it's like...
Yeah.
That's a really good point, Trench.
Yeah, that's actually a really good way to put things.
Yeah.
I think I got that on here too. Green Inferno.
Oh,
yeah,
I love
I got
I'll have stuff to say about that one actually.
4th one from the bottom of the list. Green Inferno.
Awesome. It's a good movie.
Yeah, I'll have stuff when we get to there.
And then you had Mondo Cannibal, and you had Devil Hunter, both by Jesus Christ, was it Jess Franco, or I forget his name?
Those are Franco's.
Yeah, which he always brings his own special style to the movies.
You know you're gonna see some shit when you watch one of his films, and you know you're gonna get boobies too. For all you booby lovers out there, you get boobies.
Yeah, you're gonna get a lot of tits with Franco movies. There are 2 kinds of Franco movies. There's the tasteful art films, and then there's the fuck it, things don't need to be in focus movies. His cannibal movies are the more of the fuck it, they don't need to be in focus kind of movies.
Which I was impressed with Mondo Cannibal. That was one of the ones. That one had a label on the cover bragging, just as Cannibal Holocaust did, that it was banned in X amount of countries. Like I think Cannibal Holocaust is like, oh, we're banned in 36 countries, and I think, Mondo Cannibal had something like, we're banned in 60 countries. It's like, okay, guys, you wanna?
It was a weird dick measuring contest.
I think that's awesome though that they do. I love it when I see a movie that's banned. It just
that's always fun, but.
Of course, dick measuring contest, Mondo Cannibal, when they measure your dick, they cut it right off.
That's true. That's true.
And take a bite out of it. Not in the fun way.
No.
Definitely not in the fun way.
Although some people might be into that.
Definitely.
Oh, Wrong Turn. DMC is saying Wrong Turn. Wrong Turn's a cannibal movie?
Yeah, it is.
They're backwoods cannibals.
It is. I would stay away from the remake.
I don't know if they eat people. I know they're hillbilly. I guess they're kind of cannibalistic.
They are cannibals.
I don't know.
Granted, I haven't watched besides the first one in the remake. So
they are cannibals. It's a fun one. I like that movie in particular because that was brought out. Was it late 90s or early 2000s?
2000 exactly.
Kind of a period where we weren't getting these really gritty. It wasn't a super gritty movie, but for the time, it was a lot less sanitary. Like a lot of the films were very sanitary.
It was hard R as opposed to the PG-13 like teen slasher movies we were getting at the time.
And we were kind of going back. So I have a special place in my heart just because it kind of was going back to a time, a different type of movie.
Back to the 70s.
Yeah. It's not a super hardcore movie, but it was for what we were getting at the time period.
Yeah, it seems like things are starting to tone down a little bit. And do you guys think it's time for a resurgence of these kinds of gritty, sexploitative cannibal things?
Yeah.
Yes.
And based off what the indie scene's starting to become, I think it's going to happen here pretty soon. Yeah.
I'm bloodthirsty. I'm always bloodthirsty. You're asking the wrong person. Hi, American Werewolf in New Jersey.
Hey, welcome, man. But yeah, like I would be happy to see them come back, and if they're gonna bring them back, like, don't make them too clean. Like, they got to keep them dirty like they used to be, you know? Maybe even go back to shooting on actual film. Like,
I would love that.
I would too.
I would love that. It's probably never going to happen because it's so expensive, but I would love that.
They at the very least make it look like it. I know that's not quite the same thing, but you can do some good tricks.
Yeah, if you actually do some actual good, you have a competent editor. Yeah, you can make it look good.
Yeah,
like no dick eating. You're crazy.
Yeah.
No dick eating. Come on, that's like the best part. It's like the wishbone in Thanksgiving. Everybody's fighting over it, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And if you do it right, you can get some cream.
God damn it.
Well, some of the guys in those movies deserve to get their dicks eaten, so
that's true.
They make you earn it.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good way to put it, Trenchy.
Yeah, the Trench. I know you said you hadn't seen a whole lot of these, but was there one you wanted to kind of highlight a little bit? And because I know you've sort of been sitting by.
Well, I've seen like Cannibal Holocaust, but I've seen more of the silly ones. Like I've seen like Motel Hell and like Texas Chainsaw and stuff like that. I haven't seen too much of the other ones, but like the jungle ones. But I'll see more eventually.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, those are good ones to talk about. Like I have a silly one on my list too, and I know Christian has seen it. I've mentioned it previously. But you've got, I want to get the title right. You've got Cannibal Women in the Avocado Jungle of Death.
I haven't seen that one, actually.
What the fuck?
Sparky, enlighten us.
I keep hearing of this.
Ethel, enlighten us. God, that movie.
Well, there's a jungle, the Avocado Jungle, and in it, there's the Piranha Women. Yeah. And the scientist needs to lead an expedition with her student, and this guy who's tagged along. I forget why he's coming along. I think he's the guy they chose to help them out to come with them. I forget
what or bodyguard.
Yeah, like there's this funny scene where they're interviewing people to be bodyguards, and like you've got this tough military man, and then you've got like this crazy guy, and you got all these people that's like, yeah, you want these people, they're a little over the top, but yeah, you know, you want someone tough to body, then they choose this guy in a neckerchief. So.
Yep.
And basically they're going through the jungle looking for the Piranha Women, and they find them, and they find the Piranha Men, who are a bunch of wussies, according to their protector. Yeah, and the student is a real dumb bimbo, and like she always got like her boobs popping out. And he's trying to mac on her the whole time, and like it's fun. It's a lot of fun. Adrienne Barbeau's in it. She's like the leader of the Piranha Women. And she used to be a scientist, and she has a really terrible sword fight with the scientist that's come down there to find the Piranha Women. It's funny.
It's fun.
Avocados grow in jungles?
That's your question.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Yes, they do, sweetie.
I didn't know that.
Oh.
I thought they grew on farms.
The Avocado Jungle is the best source of avocados.
It is, yeah. Yeah. God damn it, woman.
That was went down there. I think she went down there not only to study the piranha women, but to figure out a way that they could get into the jungle safely and get their avocados and not get eaten.
Yeah. They really needed some avocados.
I didn't know avocados grew in jungles.
Yeah. Yeah, they do, sweetie.
That's
weird too.
cool.
Like this movie was made before avocados became the big hot thing, and everyone was like putting them on their toast in their friggin' shakes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this was way before.
Maybe this is what made avocados cool.
I definitely think that's not what this movie is. Not what made people want to eat avocados so much.
Like, Christian, you sound like you don't think this movie is that good.
No, I like the movie, but I'm like, man, that's a movie. It's one of those ones like, yeah, I think it's fun, but I also like, man, how the fuck do you even with that movie?
Oh, Raw.
Oh, I love Raw. Raw is a personal favorite of mine.
Yeah.
Raw is war. No, wait, that's something else.
It's a cannibal movie starting with vegetarianism.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's a genius way if you think about it.
Yeah.
Oh. So they're vegetarian and then it's a lifestyle and then they just start eating people?
It's about this girl. She's trying to be a veterinarian, and she's as part of like a hazing ritual for a sorority that she joins. She has to eat a piece of meat, and she slowly goes from there to becoming an actual cannibal. It's pretty good. It's really good. It's actually a real good movie.
Kind of a descent into madness.
Yeah, kind of a descent into madness and talking about like coming into womanhood and stuff. It's really good.
Yeah,
well, there's another movie. There's another movie that's kind of similar to it, but I can't remember if she eats the people. She might. Have you guys seen Mad Cowgirl?
Oh God, that name I've heard of it. I've never seen it, but I've heard of it.
Does she turn into a cannibal?
No, I believe she's a butcher. Or she's training to be a butcher, and she starts killing people basically.
Oh.
Very cool.
Yeah.
But it's a good movie. I saw it way back in the day. It's actually one of those movies that I acquired through less than legal means. I may or may not have accidentally popped a blank tape into one VCR and popped the tape into the other VCR.
You monster!
I've done that, and I usually trip when that happens. When that used to happen to me, I would always trip, and it would just fall into the VCR.
Yeah.
It was amazing how that happened.
Mm-hmm.
I explained it to the FBI, like, well, I was going to watch the movie, and I find that watching a movie through another VCR is good. Like it looks better that way somehow. And
it enhances the experience.
It does.
It just so happened my finger slipped and I hit the record button on the other VCR. I didn't notice till it was already over, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to throw it out. So
it's a waste of a perfect.
See, the one VCR had a wild weekend, and it had some baby oil on the button, and your finger slips and just had a wild weekend.
It happens sometimes.
We've all been there.
But sadly you can't
see that one werewolf.
Oh, Ravenous is good.
Oh,
Ravenous is very good.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen Ravenous.
Robert Carlyle's in it.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he's always good.
Alive is good. DC Campbell brings up a good one. Alive.
I've actually never seen Alive.
It's based on a true story. It's not so much. It is cannibalism. They have to literally. And it really happens.
Is this the one about the soccer team?
Yes.
Okay.
Have you seen it?
No, but I know the story.
Yeah, and they get in the Andes and in the mountains, and a few of them die, and they have to make the choice of whether to live and to eat them and to die. And more people die, and eventually they do get rescued. Yeah. It's a harrowing. It's not a bad movie. I watched it. It was from the 90s.
Nice.
I remember when that, like, before the movie got made, but like when that happened, they were talking. They had like the survivors on one of those talk shows, and they were talking about how they had to eat people, and it was like, oh, it was bad because like they were frozen and you're eating them, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, it was
like,
really
cannibalism, you know. It's sometimes you have to do it, I guess.
Yeah.
Like
I would want you guys to eat me.
Okay.
You guys think you could actually do it if you had to? If you were in like an alive situation?
Maybe. It depends on who I had to eat. Like, if I didn't like the person, I think that would make it easier.
No, like I studied the Donner Party a lot, and yeah, that was very much how that went.
Yeah, I think if it was like somebody I loved, my kids or Marty or somebody, I don't think I could do it. But if it was people I didn't know or didn't like, maybe it'd be a little easier. I'm not saying it'd be a trip to Baskin Robbins, but it might be doable. So,
Trench, could you just kill a man and then eat him, or maybe just eat him? I don't know. Don't just kill a man.
I don't know about killing them. I mean, if they're already dead, I don't know. It's hard. It depends on who it is again.
yeah.
I don't know if I could do it, but it would be easier if it was like someone I didn't like or someone I didn't know. And if they were an adult.
Yeah. That's a good point too.
Yeah, you don't want to go all Anthropotheca on them.
Although if it was Marty, like if it was, I could eat his dick, and that way it'd always be with me.
For 48 hours.
Didn't someone like eat her sister or something, or eat her sister's ashes and said that's because she always wanted a piece of her with her? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what. I'd eat Marty's dick.
Oh God, Jen.
Well, then you would poop it out, and you would have.
That's what I mean. It would be for 48 hours.
I guess that's true. Okay, then I would like cut it off, and I'd put it on a necklace and dry it out, and I just wear it like a locket.
That makes way more sense.
Somewhere Marty's just screaming, and he doesn't know why.
I mean, I've seen a blog post from somebody who actually did that. They actually ate their dick. I probably mentioned this to you guys before, but I don't think I've ever mentioned it live.
He literally. Hello, Marty.
We're talking about this again.
Yeah. It was weird. I came across it. I think it was 4 weeks ago. I was online, and I was kind of searching through people's different blog posts, and I'm like, oh, there's some incredibly weird stuff on here. And then I saw one. It was like, oh, I ate my dick, and I'm like, you did not eat your dick. Shut up. And I click on the blog post to look at it, and I'm like, this man is his dick.
Dick. Yeah.
Like what the dude was doing was he was cutting off pieces of it, and he was like, he'd wait till it heal up, and then he'd cut off a little piece. Then he'd wait till it heal up, and he'd cut off a little piece, and he was eating it. He was taking pictures of the pieces and like taking pictures of the results. And eventually he ran out of dick, and he has no dick.
Don't you hate it when you run out of dick?
Yeah, they do. Marty, yeah. But it would be after you were dead, darling. Like if you died, it wouldn't be like when you were alive or anything. I'm not a monster.
It wouldn't be Lorena Bobbitt.
No, it wouldn't be like
Marty,
that. It would just be so, you know.
We stopped her from eating your dick.
Little column A, little column B.
Oh yeah, that's right. There is cannibalism in that movie.
Flesh cookies.
I love the flesh cookies.
That's one of my favorite scenes. I love flesh cookies. She takes them. Okay, guys, if you've never seen Black Christmas, what happens is he uses his mother's back, and they take cookie cutters, and he pushes them in the back, and then he takes the flesh and cooks them in an oven until they're piping hot, and then he eats them.
It's awesome. And that reminds me, Sweeney Todd's a cannibal movie too. I forgot about that.
Yep.
Oh shit! Wait, because I hadn't seen Sweeney Todd.
Oh, Sweeney Todd is great. It's about this barber whose life was stolen from him from a judge. Like, he steals his wife and his daughter, and he exiles them for a crime he doesn't commit. And he comes back to town, and he teams up with Mrs. Lovett, and then he starts killing people that he cuts their hair for them, and then she bakes them in the pies, and they sing about it.
It's a musical.
Yep.
Well, I remember it was based on. I know it's based on an actual Broadway musical, is it not?
Mhm.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
Yes. Yeah.
I never got around to seeing that one.
The Broadway musical is pretty damn good too.
It is really good.
It's big though. The movie's more dark.
I think it's because it wasn't playing when I was visiting New York the few times that I'd gone, but I would have seen it if it had been. Right. Titus 2 with Anthony Hopkins.
I haven't seen that one. Have you?
Never heard of it.
Oh wow.
That's a way to do it.
Well, oh, and then there's also that episode of South Park where Eric Cartman kills the bully's parents and feeds him the parents
Scott
chili.
Tenorman must die.
Yeah.
Yes.
He had it. The kid had it coming. I love that the conclusion of that thing is we better not fuck with Cartman ever again.
Yeah.
I would do something like that.
Yeah.
I like how his plan originally was to have a horse bite the bully's wiener off, and then like he's got the dummy and the hot dog sticking out of the dummy's crotch, and the horse, like, instead of biting it off, he starts sucking it. He's like, "No, you like that."
Let me lick your tears, Scott.
Yeah.
Oh, the tears, they took the sweet, Scott.
Oh, you do a good impression.
It's one of the best Shakespeare adaptions, is what I'm getting.
Yeah, it really truly is. Another movie that no one's brought up, and I'm surprised, is Parents. It came out in the 80s. Has anyone ever seen Parents?
No.
Yeah, I saw that a long ass time ago. I forgot about Parents.
With Randy Quaid.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be a black comedy, but it's also kind of terrifying.
Yeah.
And the kid, literally, his parents are cannibals, and he refuses to eat. And then the end gets super dark.
Yeah. I love the ending of it.
I do too.
Yeah, Parents is fun.
Yeah.
Parents is one of those black comedies that definitely like leans into the darkness by the end of it.
Yeah, it really shows Randy Quaid's range as an actor, because he's actually kind of terrifying in that movie.
Yeah, he has some intimidating scenes.
And they're doing a 50s kind of thing where, like, they're the perfect 50s family, and they're cannibals, and the mother's real loving, and it's just really fucked up.
It's one of those movies that I'm always saying they're like, John Waters somehow didn't make this, but it feels like it should have been made by John Waters.
Yeah, it has that same tone.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Oh, Marty says Cannibal Apocalypse with John Saxon. Ooh.
We haven't talked about that one yet.
I haven't heard of it.
I think Christian has.
I should check that out. It's probably, I bet you it's on YouTube. A lot of BBC stuff seems to find its way onto YouTube with very little hassle.
Mm-hmm.
Moon, is that like, that's the non-musical version, right? Because it started out as like a newspaper kind of like serial type of thing, like serials about the barber, and then they made some movies, and then they made the musical.
Oh, is that movie, is that based on Jeffrey Dahmer in a way? I know he didn't do anything with women. He was just into gay men, but is that who that's based on?
It Could be. I'm not sure. Marty brought up Cannibal Apocalypse with John Saxon.
Oh God, that name sounds familiar. I don't think I've ever seen it though.
Did I have that on here? No, Cannibal Holocaust. Wow, I should have had that on here. I haven't seen it.
Did Citizen X, didn't he cannibalize a few of his victims?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's another really good movie that HBO made with Stephen Ray and I can't remember
the other one. Yeah.
But it's about a serial killer from Russia, the Soviet Union, and it's based on a true story. And the guy he murders children, women, and children, and he does cannibalize them.
Oh,
yeah, who rescues his unit gets bit by one of the POWs, and when they go back to the States, they eat people.
Cool.
What's the POW?
The prisoner of war.
Prisoner of war.
Oh.
It's sort of like he's like becoming a zombie, but you don't die or anything. You just get an intense hunger for human flesh.
Yeah, I think that is Citizen X. I think that's the one. Yeah. Andrew Chikatilo. Yeah. Maybe there's another movie based on that.
Butcher Boy also.
Butcher Boy. Yes, Butcher Boy. Has anyone seen Butcher Boy?
They're based off the same case.
Oh, yeah. Butcher Boy.
Butcher Boy. Stephen Ray's in that one as well, and it's directed by my favorite director, Neil Jordan. And it's a dark movie, and it's about a little kid that's really fucked up. Good movie.
Oh, we mentioned earlier. We mentioned a new comedy, and we mentioned South Park. You got to put those two things together: South Park comedy and cannibals. You get Cannibal the musical.
Yes.
Your favorite.
One of my favorite things Trey Parker and Matt Stone have ever made, and it was their first thing.
I awesome. Love it. Christian, we could build a snowman. We could make. We could name him. We could make him tall. We could make him not so tall.
No.
Like Trench, this is a movie you got to watch, Trenchy. You got to see this one.
Oh, you'd love it.
You would love it, Trench.
It is pretty awesome.
And you love crazy ass shit, and like this is all of that.
And more.
Yeah, and much more.
A guy sings a romantic song to his horse.
Yes. Yes, he does.
Yeah, this reminds me of like what Star Kid would do, and I like Star Kid, so I'll definitely check it out.
The sky is blue and all the trees are green.
I forgot Sinead O'Connor's in The Butcher Boys, the Virgin Mary. I always forget that.
She's the Virgin Mary.
You're right, Marty. I love The Butcher. Well, you know me. I love anything Neil Jordan. It's a fucked up movie, though.
It's a great movie.
It is a great movie, but it's fucked up.
Oh, good. He doesn't get mad anymore, but he used to. Okay.
Gotcha.
Right. Sometimes actors go through a period of time where they get all bent out of shape about a movie they did and say, well, don't do the movie then. Like, what do you fucking want? People are gonna ask.
Oh,
they want to.
Is John Saxon dead? Is that the joke?
Yeah. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he has passed.
Yeah,
Hasn't
John
he,
Saxon
Marty?
is dead. Yeah.
I think.
Wait, when did he die? Is this recent? I thought he was.
No, he died I thought he died this year, actually.
Yeah, it hadn't been too long.
Or no, he died last year, right around Christmas, because everyone.
Christmas, you could
say. Because because everyone pointed out that during Black Christmas, yeah.
That's
right.
I
remember him dying.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Like some people don't like. I didn't know. I honestly didn't know he died. It sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, he died last year, I think.
Because like
I forgot.
He did a lot of movies that were kind of questionable quality, but what can you do?
He was one of those actors that I don't think ever said no to a script as long as the pay was good enough.
Yeah. I can respect that.
Those are the best actors. I like it when actors take roles just so they can go on vacation for a couple months.
Yep. Michael Caine is probably the best example of that.
He got a new addition to his house as well.
Yeah.
Caine, Donald Pleasance. He used to do that often.
Yeah.
Vincent Price.
Mhm.
Yeah, he
Price.
did that for a while, yeah.
Vincent Price also, he took a lot of roles that he did, even if they weren't very good paying roles, because he was trying to get himself out there, and it worked because like everybody knows who Vincent Price is.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, he did it because he was worried that he was going to be forgotten after the 50s horror boom. That's why there's all like those weird like bank commercials and stuff that for some reason Vincent Price narrates in.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of the reasons he did the 1960s Batman TV show. Where
Egghead.
Egghead.
Oh,
it's
that's
awesome.
a good one. Betsy Palmer for a new car.
Yeah, you're right.
Which if they ever the next Batman movie, they got to bring Egghead back.
Hell yeah.
They try to do a dark, broody, serious Batman movie, and then you just got this guy making egg puns and stealing things that have loosely connection to fucking eggs.
Yes, Egghead and Sweet Tooth.
Yeah. Give me a movie that's just all the really stupid ones like Condiment King and Kite Man and shit.
Yeah.
Louis the Lilac.
The fucking eraser, yeah.
Catman.
Well, Catman was lame, and then he became cool in some of the comics later on.
Oh
yeah, he went through an arc.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, he was really silly. But yeah, he did. You have a good point.
Shit. Yeah, like I keep forgetting Catman was how stupid he was in the beginning.
Oh, we got Naked HD saying online strips without clothing.
Oh,
okay.
Boy. Hell yeah.
Without clothing. Splash.
Clothing. Woo!
Yay.
Up. Yay, no clothing. All right, cool. That's cool. I don't know what movie that is. Maybe Naked HD could put the movie he's talking about, or she. No, we're gonna guess.
Did a sex bot just come into your? I've never seen this before.
Just came into a live stream. Hello,
this is monumental. I've never seen this before.
I haven't either, actually. Usually they're just in the comments.
Wow.
Oh, hi, sex bot. How's Skynet?
I'm putting them on screen. I'm putting them on screen. You know.
Hello, sex bot.
Sex bot. Splash, heart, thumbs up to you too, man. Always good to see a sex bot in the thing. It's that's how you know you're making it, guys.
Yep. I thought you have officially become a successful YouTuber.
Yeah, now you know you've made it.
You're in the big time now, Ethel.
They just show up after the fact.
Yeah.
See, yours is so good they have to.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Raw Force. The monks. Raw Force is one that Marty showed me not too long ago.
Oh, did he show you Raw Force and you didn't tell me?
Yeah.
Oh, what'd you think?
It was good. The monks who pray to the zombie samurai are cannibals.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's a good movie, guys. I recommend it. That one will probably be a Trash Fire picture show one of these days.
Yeah, that'll probably be a Trash Fire.
That's a good one, Marty. I forgot.
Try the. Wait, do they? No, because this. Oh, see, I don't know whether they were included or not. Because you've got Omega Man, and they're not zombies; they're mutants. But does that count as? Do mutants count?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'd say that counts.
Yeah,
that counts.
Allow it. I'd allow it.
Wrong Turn, they're kind of mutants, and Hills Have Eyes, they're kind of mutants. So
Yeah.
Especially the remake. Yeah.
Hills Have Eyes is a great movie.
Yeah.
I've only seen the original Hills Have Eyes, but it's a good film. I like it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the
It's one of
remake's
Wes Craven's
dope.
best.
Yeah, it's great.
I
It's
have to
one
check.
of the baby scene. and that is one movie that did chill me. Like, not very many movies, but the scene where, after the rape and where they take the baby and she's fighting for the baby, that did make my blood run cold. That scene does, and even rewatching it, it still makes my blood run cold. Maybe because of the mother thing in me, but it's a terrifying scene, and it's handled very well.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, it's definitely got to be the mother thing, because like you can't. Your kid, like, that's your kid, It's like, fuck, don't kill my baby.
Fat and juicy.
Fat and juicy. Good.
I mean, not the same thing for me, because I don't have a baby, but I have a cat. But if someone had taken Chumpkins away, I'd be freaking out too. So, like, it's understandable, especially if you don't know what they're going to do with it. Like, she doesn't know if they're going to take it away to eat it, or they're going to just take it away, kill it, raise it. What are they doing? She doesn't know.
Generally, they usually want to eat it.
Yeah, in that case, they wanted to eat it.
Yeah. Is The Descent a cannibal movie? American Werewolf in Jersey's asking.
They're like little cave demons.
Yeah, does that count?
I don't think. Are they mutants?
They were human and they adapted to their environment.
Right. Okay.
So
it's been a while since I've seen the Indent. Yeah. So technically, that's cannibal.
Yeah, they're cannibals.
Yeah.
The remake is good too.
Because if mutants count, then mutated humans evolve. Well, I don't know what the politically correct term is, but they would count.
Because they just got lost in the cave and then they evolved over the years to survive in the harsh environment.
Marty says they're throwbacks.
Yeah.
So so they'll count. Because I guess if you had cavemen eating people, that counts too.
Yeah.
Silent Green is people.
Oh yeah, Silent Green.
Silent Green is people.
That's like unwilling cannibalism, because the people don't know they're eating people.
Yeah.
But it tastes so damn good.
It does,
I like to think that's where Sid got that from.
Probably.
Bring in the scoops. Bring in the scoops.
That's an underrated
like the scoops.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody talks about it anymore.
Yeah, the only time you ever hear anyone talk about it is just quote referencing it's made of people. Nobody talks about the movie itself, and it's really good.
Yeah. I like the scene where they're having dinner and it's like a wilted celery stalk.
Yeah.
And it's just like, so it's come to this, It's crazy.
I love that scene. That's one of my favorite bits in the movie.
Very good scene. So we've got another Charlton Heston movie, because you had that and you had Omega Man, both Charlton Heston. Another movie that. Oh, sorry, Jen.
Oh no, go ahead.
Oh, okay. I might be slightly delayed because my thing's that little spinny thing. But another movie that's of that era that is also unwilling cannibalism would be Logan's Run.
You're right.
Oh yeah,
you're right. I always forget about that.
I didn't think of that one either.
That's a good point.
Wait, Logan's Run has cannibalism in it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta watch it now.
Oh, it's good.
It is.
It's a good movie.
It is a good movie. I forgot.
Sea green. Protein from the sea, but it's not protein from the sea. It's protein from They're fucking liquidating people, freezing them in.
Marty brought up 28 Days.
That one's so close to zombies, though.
But they're technically not.
I guess.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of things that are on that line of, well, is it cannibalism? Like, I mean, technically yes, but I mean, if they're not human anymore, are they cannibals? I don't know. Mutants count because they're still human, they're just mutated. Zombies don't, because they're no longer human, they're dead. But it's
Mm-hmm.
a fine line. Definitely a fine line.
Well, the people in 28 Days Later weren't dead. They were just infected.
Infected,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know if it counts or not.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
I think it does because they were human.
I guess, yeah. They technically are still alive. I suppose.
Marty brings up a good point. If you're in a futuristic movie with Charlton Heston, you know humanity is fucked.
Yeah, that's obviously a pretty safe bet.
Yeah, geez, they're either mutated, they're either the government's liquidating you, or they're fucking apes.
Yeah, they're monkeys.
Monkeys.
Monkey. I need a clip of fucking from Mario Brothers. Monkey.
Yes.
Monkey.
It's like the best time someone said monkey in a movie.
It is. It is my favorite use of monkey.
Dennis Hopper.
Yeah.
It was great, which you could tell like he was like, I can't believe I signed up for this film. What have I gotten myself into?
Wasn't he another actor that very rarely said no?
Yeah, but he also was one of those actors that was very open about hating on being a part of the movie while on the set.
Oh.
I've heard horror stories of him on TCM2.
Oh, TCM2 is good though. Because you got them saving the human people.
Yeah, oh yeah, Dennis Hopper
silly.
fucking hated that movie. He said that was the worst movie he ever did.
Really?
TCM2, yeah.
Huh. I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
Which is that's a good segue into talking about Texas Chainsaw Massacre because they are eating people too.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah,
one of the
he wins the chili contest because it's made out of people, which is weird because also in Mattel Hell, his food's really good too, and it's made out of people.
Mm-hmm. It takes all kinds of critters to make Farmer Vincent's fritters.
It's like they're trying to tell us that people taste good, yet like it's weird.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure I highlight some of the comments in the thing because which aside from the topic at hand, I just want to let everyone know in the comments when I don't highlight you on Friday, it's not because I'm ignoring you. It's just because we do the movie thing and I have to edit it later. And when the screens keep moving all over the place, it makes more work for me. But I try to show your comments as much as I can when we do these Sunday things because these aren't edited; these are just live. But I just wanted to put a sidebar there so everybody understand because I don't know if I've mentioned that before.
Look at that.
That's true.
But
oh yeah, that's true.
It's probably my favorite joke in that movie is that ending line.
Doesn't count. Use preserves. Yeah, but no, Texas Chainsaw Massacre is probably one of the classic examples, and
if not
that whole movie is all about the cannibalism, which is great. Yeah. Gotta love it. The remake was good too. Like they did a good. That's one of the few movies where it got a modern remake, and the remake didn't suck.
Oh, that remake's great. I love that remake. It is equal to the original for me.
I wouldn't go that far, but it's really
I still
good.
think the original's a better movie, but I can also acknowledge there are elements that the remake does better. Also, man, that fucking performance from Arlie Ermey's magnetic.
Yeah, he's one of the reasons why that movie.
Yeah, he's the best part of that film.
Yeah, that performance.
I loved him in the beginning too.
Yeah,
because the beginning was fun because they used a fat chick to block the door, and then he shoots the sheriff.
Yeah, and that is a great remake.
Yeah,
but you still can't touch the original. You just can't.
They're equal for me.
Well, the original it had that gritty 70s look, and it had air of unpleasantness, which came from the people who were having to endure the conditions of starring and filming that movie.
Yep, because that was a very unpleasant film to make.
Gunnar
Hansen passed out several times.
They've had to put him in a car with air conditioning and cold beer because he was about to have a heat stroke. Yeah.
It stunk.
Texas.
It was Texas in the summer. I can't think of the actual actress's name, but Sally got cut up a bunch on that movie.
Yeah, she got hurt. Not terrible bad, but uncomfortable. Yeah, but I think that also adds to the.
It totally does. Like that's an example of man, you can tell that adds so much to that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an example.
The timeline is fucked up.
Well, but that's not the first movie's fault.
No, that's not the first movie's fault. But that is one of the most fucked up timelines in horror.
Every horror timeline,
except for maybe Halloween.
Every franchise at this point has a fucked up timeline.
Marilyn Burns.
Yeah, Marilyn Burns. Thank you, Moon.
I just want to highlight some more comments. Just gotta do that. But it's probably one of the classic examples of a cannibal movie that isn't like on the surface. You think about Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the first thing you think of is Leatherface, and then like the dinner scene, but you don't really. For some reason, at least for me, it never clicks in until I'm watching it and I'm actually like halfway through the movie. I'm like, these are cannibals.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which
says
a lot about the movie.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much going on in that movie. You know what I mean? There's so much going on in that movie that says a lot for the movie, that cannibalism is just one of the things in that movie. It says a lot for the movie itself.
Oh, for sure. And of course, another franchise which is all about eating people. You got Silence of the Lambs and the Hannibal movies.
Mm-hmm. And great. Both of those movies go back to Ed Gein, one of the who was a cannibal, at least to some degree. It's been debated on how much of a cannibal he was, but he was a cannibal, and
he was more of an artist.
Yeah, he really was. Well, where he got the ideas from was Nazis, and headhunter books. Mm-hmm. But yeah, and in fact, a lot of our movies, it was Ed Gein that
pretty much any movie at this point that has a serial killer who eats people and they're Southern, they're probably Ed Gein inspired,
or Psycho
inspired, or they're inspired by something inspired by Ed Gein.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shocked the entire town, like because he came from a very small town, Ed Gein did, and when they discovered that he's killed people. And he's eating people, and he's wearing their skin around.
Mm-hmm. And he would used to babysit. A lot of people had him babysit their kids, and they thought they say a lot about a lot of them. He was really quiet. He was nice, but he was quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like he had a good work ethic. There's a great documentary on Ed Gein, and they interview a guy that knew him. And they're like, oh, Ed was great. He was quiet. He's real dependable, like a hard worker. You pay him $1, you'll get $1.50 amount of work out of him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like one of those people. Yeah, he had a cereal bowl made of the top of someone's skull.
Yep.
He had a belt made of nipples.
Yep, he did. He had a lampshade made out of human skin. Yeah,
he had
a suit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he had what the police called a chest vest.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is such a great term.
It is. Well, it's the 50s. And he would go dance in the moonlight. He'd wear it and dance in the moonlight. Now, how true that is, but that's always been on the lore.
I believe that was even in the... Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to say, I believe the Dance in the Moonlight thing was in the movie, because they made a movie back in the early 2000s.
Yep.
Yeah, Ed Gein with Steve Railsback. Yeah, and it's a great movie. Like, there's a couple of other movies
Deranged.
that they did. Deranged they did, but there was a couple of others in the 2000s where they did Ed Gein. But if you want to see one that's fairly accurate to the actual case, get the one with Steve Railsback.
Yeah,
it's the best.
Yeah,
Harry snores fast.
A lot of those like straight to video, because it was kind of like a series of movies of those straight to video serial killer movies from the early 2000s. They're actually pretty good. Like, I really like the Gacy one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was one of these movies I rented from Blockbuster, and I didn't expect it to be very good, and then I was very happy. I'm like,
they're pleasant surprises.
Yeah. Now there's a couple that are bad, but most of them are good.
Yeah, like I remember the Dahmer one's pretty bad out of that series. But
yeah. And there's another one about Ed Gein where is it Kane Hodder plays him because he's too big.
Yeah, there's one. Well, that one's more of a slasher movie than anything, though. That's really not trying to be an Ed Gein like actual true crime thing. That's more of a slasher film.
Yeah.
And like it's so funny because it's like it's always the quiet ones.
Yeah.
Trenchy, I'm looking in your direction. People.
I haven't yet.
So with that, I'm trying to remember. I don't remember the cannibalism aspect of it, but I'm pretty sure. I think there was people under the stairs, guys. Were they
Yes.
eating people?
Yes.
I don't remember that part. Is that crazy?
Yeah, there is the people under the stairs, the actual kids under the stairs are eaten because there is a scene where he what's the guy's name? Vig Rames, where when they dump the body of Vig Rames, and he dumps it kind of almost like it's not a pig trough, but it reminds you of a pig trough.
Yeah, that's how they hide their murder victims. They feed them to the kids in the walls.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, they show it with Vig Rames' thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's another one of those movies where you forget about the cannibalism, though.
Yeah, but there's, again, another Wes Craven movie.
Another one, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's one I got to revisit because I haven't seen that since it was basically when it was new. Because I remember they had it on television, and I'm like,
fantastic.
That might be my favorite Craven movie. That thing is fantastic.
Yeah, I love that movie. That's one of his underrated gems is right there. That is like one of his best. And there's so much, and again, like Christian said, there's so much besides cannibalism going on with that movie. And it was kind of a true story.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Very loosely.
Robbers actually, how he got the idea for that is because robbers were going to rob a funeral home and they had kids chained up, and the robbers actually called the police. You know it's fucked up when the robbers are the ones calling the police. And he read the story and he kind of went from there. But interesting movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely all right. Good, because I couldn't remember. I'm like, I had it mentioned to me, and I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. I guess I'm thinking I don't remember that, but now I know why I don't remember, because it might have that scene might have been cut out of television.
Probably
it might have, yeah,
because it's pretty gory for the time.
Yeah, because that scene, and I know the scene of of mommy giving the girl a bath in the scalding water was cut in the television edit. So yeah, it might have been actually.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's horrific.
Yeah, that seems fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, American Werewolf, thank you for stopping. If you're still in the chat, I know you said you had to go, but thank you for stopping.
Stay
Bye,
frosty.
Werewolf. We are what we are.
Oh, I still haven't seen either of them.
Oh, yeah,
Curry.
What are we talking about?
I've heard about it in another movie.
Curie disease.
Where you basically, it makes you go crazy if you eat too much of it.
Yeah, you eat. It's a parasite, I believe.
Yeah, it's actually in some of the cannibal, like the Jungle Cannibal movies. That's how I knew about it.
Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, and it makes them crazy. It's basically like mad cow disease.
Yeah. Mad people disease.
Cows were getting that from eating cows, being fed cows, cannibal cows, guys. Hard to believe what happened.
How much do you have to eat to get a disease, though?
Probably depends.
Like, you might know this. Didn't Gangrel, who was a wrestler, used to drink blood? Didn't he get sick? And he sort of. Yeah.
He had to stop because he was actually drinking blood for the thing, and he had to stop because it made him really sick. And that's why his career was so short. Because they gave him this. The WWE has this thing where they give them dangerous, dumb gimmicks that they don't really need.
Yeah.
They did the same with Owen Hart, and that ended. Well, everybody knows how that ended.
Yeah. Then they kept going. They just picked his body up and they kept wrestling. It's like, fuck, dude.
Yeah. And the thing is, he didn't need that. He was a great wrestler. He didn't need the gimmick, but they just didn't know how to promote him.
Yeah, and of course, Gangrel, he had vampire fangs, put in actual vampire fangs from the dentist. Like he had fangs.
Very cool.
And not corpses, but you also had Boogeyman, who was eating worms every time he came out.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, this guy, he kind of had it. Well, I guess it sort of fits in tonight's conversation. He was sort of dressed like a witch doctor, and he had like the crazy face. And he'd crawl out onto the stage, and there'd be all sorts of fog, and he'd have like a pouch, and in the pouch he has a bunch of live worms. big ass long night crawlers, and he'd pull him out and he'd put him in his mouth and he'd chew him and he'd have his mouth open and he'd be like hanging out of his mouth and he's like opening his mouth, like and getting in people's faces.
Yeah, and he put it in his opponent's mouth when he won sometimes. And he had a little assistant called Little Boogeyman that joined him sometimes.
Oh, here we got Marty with the facts and figures on the Kuru disease. It's a side effect of prions, which is a form of CJD or mad cow disease. As a result of the same species entering the food chain, cause foaming and staggering and involuntary spasms. Oh,
fun for the whole family.
Marty, why do you know so much about this?
Because he's brilliant. Marty's brilliant.
He's a wealth of knowledge, and normally he would be here with us, but he was not feeling too well tonight, so he's not with us tonight. But we'll see him next time. Probably here next time. Very few makes me see. The worm thing is nasty. A full moon doesn't like Boogeyman's worm eating task. I guess that's better than drinking blood. Like, would you guys rather eat worms or drink blood for a gimmick?
I've eaten mealworms before. They're not that bad, actually. So
I don't know which one. I guess.
Granted, not night crawlers, but I've had mealworms and stuff. They're fine.
I guess just drink blood, depending on whose
It's
blood it was.
very rich in protein.
Blood, I guess. We'll lock it in and say blood. Marty.
Oh, good. It comes back to the whole Barber.
It was an outbreak in Ireland. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, and I remember when that was in the early 2000s, right? Or was it late 90s? So. But I remember that was on the news, mad cow disease, and like everybody was making jokes about it on all the late night talk shows, and and oh my God, he's back! Naked HD XY.
Sexbot, we've missed you.
Without clothing.
We've missed you, Sexbot.
How would you strip with?
Oh,
Marty,
I
you're
love letter.
Out.
Oh wow. Oh, Marty says it was 2003. We'll get this up here. Get out of here, Sexbot. Well, I don't mind. Sexbot, you can stay. I appreciate your views.
Marty, you're missing the Sexbot.
He's here in spirit.
They think these things bother me. These Sexbot type things. They think these things bother me. I don't care. I don't care. Just make it part of the show. I don't care. You're in the show. Congratulations.
Perfect.
I could be a naked Sexbot that strips.
Okay then.
But
next time I'm gonna get a cardboard box.
I was about to say, how would you strip if you're already naked? But if you're a Sexbot, you could be like Terminator and pulling off flesh and the endoskeleton.
I know what I'm doing for next one.
Oh my God!
Big box.
Can you imagine that? A Terminator stripping and it runs out of clothes, so it just starts tearing off its skin.
That'd be awesome.
I'd watch.
Oh, yeah.
I'm honestly surprised there isn't a scene of that in Terminator 3 with how horny that movie is.
Marty says I can't. Let's talk about strips without clothes.
Hey, Ben.
Oh.
Hey, Ben.
Hey, Ben. I'm Marty's Sexbot.
Good for you.
I know.
There's a naked lady in there. She strips without clothing, and she's nude with no clothes on.
No clothes on.
Sexbots.
Aw, how sweet is that?
I thought so.
It is.
He says the sweetest things. He really does.
Couple goals.
What happens if you click on their link to the naked? Yeah, naked.
Marty, check on the Sexbot.
No, don't.
Watch.
I think the links are bad. I'm not sure.
I clicked on one of them once in the previous. from a previous video, and it took me to like some weird online dating thing, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm all set. Well, no.
You're good.
No, just show.
The Monster Club.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Moon's right. Under all the clothes, we're all naked.
That's true.
I know I have more clothes on under my clothes, and then there are clothes on under.
Technically, I do too. Yeah. So.
Sometimes I wear a towel around the house over my clothes because I feel like I'm naked. No, never naked.
I like being naked.
Good for you.
I like it better in the summer. I don't like it so much these days. And hence the name.
The lady strips and takes off her skin.
Da, 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 da. They also do that in Cocoon, the aliens. They take off their skin and then they're all glowy aliens.
Yeah. They also do that in Trick or Treat, kind of. The werewolf segment.
The werewolf segment, they do.
Oh,
but they
yeah,
don't.
That was dope.
Mm-hmm.
They don't eat people. But if aliens ate people, it wouldn't be cannibalism because they're aliens. So I guess it's okay. They can't get that mad cow disease from eating people.
I want to eat people.
We've already been over this. You wanna eat Marty's dick. We've already.
Well, no, I'm gonna make Marty's dick a necklace.
You're right. Would you eat the rest of Marty?
You could eat his butt cheek.
See?
I suppose, but he's got a cute butt. It would ruin his butt. He's got a cute butt.
You could maybe the upper thigh somewhere. That seems like a meaty spot.
Marty, don't worry. I do not support the cannibalism of your dead body.
Oh,
gosh.
It's done with love, Marty.
Sometimes they're on the phone together and all Marty can hear is heavy breathing.
That's true. That is some of our conversations, actually.
I believe it. Blushes.
But anyway, back to the cannibal subject. See, we're trying to think. Cannibals. We went from cannibals to nudity back to cannibals. With nudity, naked cannibals. Yeah. It happens. Which actually, in a lot of these movies, cannibals are pretty naked.
Yeah, they are. It's titillating. You can sink your teeth into it.
Like I think it's what is it? I think it's either Mondo Cannibal or Slave of the Cannibal God, but you could see all the cannibals' butt cheeks.
Yep. Yay, butt cheeks. Woo-hoo.
That's just a James Franco movie for you, though.
That's true.
Butt cheek pudding.
Prison movies.
Yeah. Yay, butt cheek pudding.
Butt cheek pudding, yay. It's always nice when a film is cheeky like that. It's good. It adds to it.
Damn it.
I know, Kristen. I have the cheek to even bring that up. You know.
Get it? Because you're cheeky, and she said cheek.
Y'all really make the ass of yourselves.
I just, bro.
Sorry, but was this a bad place to make a crack like that?
Now we're on to the fun section.
Come back, darling.
I zoned out, so I don't know what's going on.
We're talking about cannibal booty.
It's okay. We're just having a crack.
Oh. That makes sense.
That's a good question. Has a cannibal ever bitten into an implant?
that was going to be a scene in Green Inferno, but they couldn't figure out how to make the effect work.
I get that.
But they actually did want to do that in Green Inferno.
That's it. That would be a cool scene.
I feel like they could make that effect work.
Wasn't it?
They couldn't think of one on time, so.
It'd be like corpse food, but more squishy.
Yeah.
I just grabbed my boob on camera.
Yeah, you did.
Usually I only do that for Marty.
Nice fucking stream, Hong Kong.
It's okay. I think your name obscured it anyhow. Besides, I've done it before. Sometimes you gotta grab the tatas. It just happens.
Exactly. Give a good squeeze.
Christian's like, what the fuck? I've had it.
I've heard worse. I've heard much worse. On this very stream.
Yes.
I feel like if the cannibals found the implants, they would, they'd have it outside the breast and they'd have it like a stress ball and they'd just be squeezing it all the time.
That makes sense.
They should make a titty stress ball.
I'm sure that's a thing. I'm sure that's a.
That has to exist. That has to exist.
I could Google it.
I already am.
You could have a little tougher that you could suck on, for men or babies or lesbians. I guess anyone really.
Yeah.
Hey, Sparky, I'm stressed.
Make me a titty or something. Oh yeah, that's a thing that exists. Oh, you can also get a stress ball that looks like a sperm.
Oh.
But yeah, you can get tit stress balls. Those are a thing. But some of them glow in the dark. I don't know why, but some of them glow in the dark.
Don't all sperm glow in the dark?
No, the titties.
Oh. Maybe they're radioactive.
Maybe.
Yay, radioactive titties.
I didn't give him a show, darling. It was an accidental tit grab. It was an unconscious tit grab is what it was. I wonder if I could sue me for sexual harassment.
Probably.
It's not Jen's fault. The idea was put in her head by the sex bot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There, I've got a case. Emotional trauma and all that.
Your usual case.
But no, they should do that with it. In the next cannibal film they make, I'm expecting somebody's silicone implant or silicone butt implant because they have those too. Get into.
They do. Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
Yeah, those aren't real. Those cheeks aren't real.
They're not spreadable.
Butter?
Sort of.
Oh, it's gonna be bad, The event, like if she got a botched job, she'd end up with those like by her kneecap. And she'd have she'd end up with like Torgo legs.
Oh God!
Oh yeah! Yay, Torgo!
Torgo, we gotta have him in the conversation. Gotta make Torgo. It's always good luck to bring up Torgo. Thanks for stopping, Dan. It was always good to see you around, buddy.
Bye.
Maybe we'll get you on the panel one of these days. That's always a possibility.
That would be fun.
It's always a possibility. He seems knowledgeable, so it'd be cool to have him on here as well. To shoot the shit. Shoot the poop. The shit. The poop and it pop.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got Eaten Alive, which I think we already mentioned. Hills Have Eyes, Silence of Lambs, Man from Deep River. Man from Deep River. That was the one that started it all, Jen?
Yep, that's the one that started it all. You have not seen it yet. For shame, you're a fake horror fan.
Okay, I'll get around to it.
It's pretty good. It's not now. If you're thinking you're going into something quite like Cannibal, it's not quite as brutal as Cannibal Holocaust, but in a way it is. But it's much more toned down in a way. It is for a cannibal movie, but it isn't. Mm-hmm. It's actually really good.
That's cool.
I would highly recommend it to everybody out there.
So check it out, Man from Deep River. Got to watch it. And I highly recommend I highly recommend Cannibal Holocaust, Cannibal Ferox. And yeah, Slave of the Cannibal God. I can never remember which title has the pig fucking. It's either Slave of the Cannibal God or Mountain of the Cannibal God. One of the two cuts is slightly longer. Always go with the longer cut. You've got a cannibal fucking a pig, and it's art, guys. It's art.
It's art.
It is. That's probably where they got the idea for Deliverance.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Which, you know, and if that's too much for you, you can't take pig fucking, then get the other version. But honestly, if you can't take a little pig fucking in your movie, then are you really a horror fan?
I don't think so. I don't think you should call yourself that. That's a real oinker of a dilemma.
Oh my God,
I don't know why, but I kind of want to see the pig fucking. I don't know why, though.
I get that.
I get that. Everyone wants to see a little pig fucking now and then, Trenchy. It's natural.
Oh, I didn't know that was normal.
That's normal. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an oinker of a good time.
Enough with the puns. You've reached your quota.
Yeah,
It gives you a lot of
pudding.
installation
I mean,
time.
I saw this movie and I'd heard of getting porked before, but that was ridiculous.
I bet Marty's so glad he's missed this.
I would be.
We discussed. That's a good idea.
That could work.
Everyone wants to see a little pig poking.
I get that.
A little poke with your pork. See, it's alliteration.
You stop.
Oh boy. Sorry, Christian. It can't help it. You know, sometimes we're gonna be hams over here. You know.
I knew that was coming. God damn it.
You were waiting on it.
Yeah, I was waiting on that.
Oh wait, I get the joke now. That took me a second.
I mean, I'm sorry. Sometimes the puns tend to hog the conversation.
They do. They fucking kill a goat and eat it.
Oh no.
Yeah, they
That's
do.
not good. That's no good.
It's a bad time to be a goat.
That's insensitive.
Oh, cool. Thank you, Moon. I think I've seen it.
Well, by the way, calling your list video nasties is probably the most British thing you could ever do when you're trying to ban something.
Yeah, it very much is.
How many cannibal movies were on that list?
At least 5 or 6, probably more. Well, that's the thing with video nasties. There were technically 3 different lists of video nasties. So if you're talking the original one, there were at least 5 of them, and then there were more on the other lists.
It's crazy. Some of the stuff that would make those video nasties lists weren't even really that bad.
No. It was just good publicity for the movies.
A lot of it was just at that point helped them.
But I think I remember Driller Killer was on the video nasties list.
Yep.
It was, yeah.
And it's like that's not even that gory. Like, I mean, yeah, there's that scene with the rabbit, but I mean,
yeah,
it's already dead.
Yeah,
it's
the original Evil Dead's on there. A lot of movies were on
Pieces, was it Pieces?
Pieces was on there.
I thought so. Texas?
Texas Chainsaw's on there. Yeah, a lot of movies were on the original video nasty list.
Of course, Texas Chainsaw, very little gore in that film. Actually, none really.
Yeah,
there's one
it's all
type of blood in the entire movie.
That's a movie that makes you think you've seen more than you actually do, which is genius on the movie's part.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck it! If you want to see the documentary and you don't want to read through the live chat when you watch this over again, other people in the future, this is the documentary.
Oh yeah, that's a really good documentary actually. Yeah, that's really good.
That's the other good reason to highlight comments. Is, people don't have to look at the live chat if it's all on screen.
I didn't know that.
Mhm.
I didn't know the best little whorehouse in Texas was on the list.
Yep.
Oh, thank you, Marty. I didn't know
Yes,
that.
it was. A lot of people forget that it wasn't just horror that was on the list and porn.
Yeah.
Oh yes, because nudity and explicit sexual acts are gonna be awful for the society. What?
Yeah.
But you can show like war movies where like almost everybody dies and that's okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's patriotic.
Yeah.
That never makes Video Nasty's list.
Yeah.
But getting your puss pounded, that's depraved.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, to steal something, I think Marty's the one who said this before. Cannibal Holocaust was on the Video Nasties list, but Apocalypse Now wasn't, even though we show killing a water buffalo in that movie. 'Cause
Yeah.
that movie's art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's the people who make these lists, like they don't follow their own rules they set forth because they make the list, they figure to make the rules. So this is an art. It doesn't count. It doesn't count at all. So I don't know. But censorship. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
You're good.
Oh, I was just censorship is bad. In any decade. It's just don't do it. Just don't do it.
Yeah.
If the movie's gonna hurt you, don't watch it. Because you'll know what's in it. There's not a single person who didn't see who saw Cannibal Holocaust and didn't kind of know what to expect.
Oh my God! There's cannibalism in this movie.
And Holocaust.
Holy shit!
Oh my God. The movie that claims to be very violent and has a woman staked on the cover. There's violence and gore in this movie.
What the fuck? Think of the children.
The cannibal children? There were children in Cannibal Holocaust.
Yeah.
Little native children. Her tits would corrupt everybody, not just British.
Yeah.
I need to inflate my tits.
Hey, Burt Reynolds singing is always going to corrupt the nation. Come on.
That is.
And him naked on the bearskin rug.
Ooh, yeah.
But so I guess in winding down from this cannibal talk, is there any cannibal movies we didn't talk about that we should? Like, guys, you got anything to bring up there?
I think everyone brought up everything. I can't think of anything off of my
We
head.
went over Raw and everything. Yeah, we went over the ones I had stuff to say about. Yeah.
Funhouse Massacre has a cannibal in it.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're right.
I actually haven't seen Funhouse Massacre.
Ooh, fill her in, Benji.
It's about a bunch of psychopaths break out of a mental asylum and they take over a carnival. And there's like a crazy, and it's like a haunted house. So they start killing people in the haunted house, and and all the people don't realize what's going on because they think it's just a haunted house. And there's like a cannibal chef, and there's a killer doctor, and there's a clown, and then there's just like this big dude that kills people. It's pretty fun.
Oh.
St. John from Victorious is in it for some fucking reason.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, it's fucking. That's cool. Like, so we've covered quite a bit, guys, and I'm sure there's more, but like I think we've done a good job tonight. I think we've really chewed fat on this one, and yeah.
Yeah, I do too. I do too.
So I'm going to do what I usually do at the end of these things is I'm going to give people a chance to, talk about their shit because like that's what we like to do. I'll start with the man, the legend, the goat to my right. Trenchy, is there anything coming up that you would like to promote or talk about or anything going on with your channel? Maybe some sort of collaboration you might be doing?
There's nothing happening on my channel that I know about, but on the 7th, me and Junebug are going to be watching all the animated Lord of the Rings movies and listening to Lord of the Rings music, apparently. And then on the 14th, I don't know whose channel this is going to be on because we did not plan this out yet. But we're going to be watching all the extended versions of The Hobbits and The Lord of the Rings, and we're going to die.
Yeah.
But you can watch us die.
That's fun.
For free.
For free, yay! It's the best entertainment you could possibly get. Also, Trenchy, you need to listen to Leonard Nimoy sing the Ballad of Bilbo Baggins on that stream.
Yes.
I think we're doing that on the 7th.
Nice. Well, as you're dying too, it just adds to the beauty, to the chaos of it all.
You guys heard it here first. Trenchy in June, dying in real time.
You're free.
Gotta do it like the health insurance commercial. It's free.
It's free.
And Jesus Christ. So that's good, Trench. That'll be quite the feat. Jen, Christian, Jen's reviews from the graves, trash fire theater. Like what's going on, guys? What's coming up?
Well, let's see. On Saturday, Marty showed me the little film called The Vampire Assassin. So this week it's my turn, and I'm picking a Christmas movie. I'm not going to name the Christmas movie, but it's payback for Marty. Also, Marty Campbell gave me an idea. We need to incorporate cannibals, dicks, and nakedness into our trash fire cinema
for Christmas.
for our logo. Trash fire cinema. Naked cannibals, dicks, and nakedness. Yeah. We need to incorporate for free. Trenchy and Campbell. We need to incorporate. It's a mouthful, but we need to do that.
Well, I'm not getting naked.
That's okay.
That's fine. Sexbot's here for you, though.
Sexbot.
They can get naked for you.
We'll probably just be doing on my channel on Jen's Reviews from the Grave. We're just probably going to be doing Chucky and we've got a Tales from the Crypt that we just filmed today.
Episode season 2, episode 3, Cutting Cars, the one with Lance Hendrickson. That video will be going up tomorrow.
And we'll probably also be reviewing Last Night in Soho, which is something Christian's been looking for to see.
Edgar Wright film.
Yeah, we'll probably be doing that. We might do Black Friday, although neither one of us are very enthusiastic. Or I'm not. I shouldn't speak for both of us.
But yeah, stuff, and then December is going to be a lot more busy for us.
Dicks, nakedness, and what was the other thing? Cannibals, yes. Dicks, nakedness, and cannibals. Yay. I need to incorporate
the great things to incorporate on your show. We've incorporated it here on Sci-Fi Sunday, and we even got into some science fiction type film talk with cannibals in it. And I didn't even really expect to do that, but it did. And that's cool. Keep the theme going, not just horror, but sci-fi. And that pretty much brings us all to a close. What's coming up for me? Jesus Christ, this Friday. Normally, there wouldn't be a watch-along, but this Friday, I believe, is the 3rd. Yeah. I think.
It is the 3rd. You're right.
That means it's December. And you know what that means, guys? You might not. It's the first time I've ever done it. But it's watch-along all month long, every Friday, this December. So, my God, it worked in Halloween. It worked for October. We're doing it again in December. So, join me on Friday. We're going to be watching Scrooge. We're going to be watching A Christmas Carol with Alistair Sim.
Nice.
Very cool.
This will be
going to be great. I've got 2 links to that. I've got a color link and a black and white link. And the cool thing is you get to choose what version you watch along with. So you can watch in good old-fashioned black
and white.
Color.
Black and white.
Color.
You watch it traditionally, black and white, the old good old standard, or you could Ted Turner your ass off and watch it in color. Like you've got your choice.
I will
the power
do whatever Uncle Ted tells me to.
Also this month, I am sharing Sundays. Sci-Fi Sunday goes away, but it comes back again, then it goes away, and then it comes back again. We got 2 Sci-Fi Sundays this month where we normally wouldn't have one. And I'll be doing the Die Hard debate. And Marty's got his Sunday is coming back, so he's going to be doing a topic. And we're going to be talking about on the 5th. Marty's going to be talking about killer toys, and on the 12th is the Die Hard debate, and then on the 19th is Christmas horror, and then on the 6th we're going to do sci-fi Christmas specials in general. So like what's going on, and as you can see on the screen right here, I will be on game night with Full Moon. It's happening, so don't forget.
Yeah.
Sounds like a
Check
good
out.
time.
Yeah, it's always fun. Play games like Quiplash, and it'll be good. So I want to thank everyone in the chat for being here. We had Dan and Horror. We had DMC Campbell. We had Full Moon. We had Hey Internet. It's Eric. We had Trash Picture Show. We had am I missing anybody, guys? I feel like I'm missing somebody.
She was mentioned.
Ben Graham.
Ben Graham.
You're forgetting the most important person. Sexbot.
We can't forget Ben Grimm, and we can't forget Sexbot. Big shout out to Sexbot. They've got something going on. Nick HD YZ online strips without clothing. You've seen strips before. Like, are you watching people you tired of watching people get naked and then just have more clothes on underneath? Watch them get stripped without clothing.
Yeah.
It's
You should strip.
No.
American Werewolf was here.
Oh yeah,
And we have
New Jersey.
We had American Werewolf. Thank you. I see. I don't want to forget anybody, and it's very important that I thank you guys. And if I ever do forget you in the chat, I sincerely, I'm upset. I'm upset with myself if I forget. These guys have heard me say, "Oh fuck, I forgot to mention so and so." If I didn't mention you, believe it. That's what I'm going to be saying when I go off air. But yeah, so thank you guys for watching. Thank you people in the chat who weren't talking, but you were just lurking. I appreciate the hell out of you too. You know, thank you. Thank you for watching. And people in the future who watch this, thank you for watching this. You guys, you make the show important by watching it. You contribute by being there. You're part of the thing. And I want to thank my friend Trenchy and my friend Jen and my friend Christian, aka Sparky, for being here and doing it. Check out their content, check out their channels. By God, if you're not subscribed to them, you should be. What are you doing with your life? Come on. And if you liked me, you liked my little show here, you like what I do, give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. I appreciate it. If you hate it, you think it sucks, even though they're going away, I'll still know about it. Give me a thumbs down. Let me know. Tell me it sucks. I can take it. And, leave a comment. Explain to me why. Maybe just stop by and say hi. If you're really enthused, you want to talk to me personally, get a hold of me on Twitter, _Ethel_Cross_. And talk to me. I'll talk back. I won't ignore you. Might take me a few hours, but I'll get back to you. If you enjoy it, you want to know every time, I always say this: subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything. It's free. And ring my bell. Go ahead. I won't tell anyone. And you'll get notified instantly every time it happens. So with that being said, thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Have a nice night. Adios.
Stay frosty.